This is KGW News at noon.
Welcome to the News at Noon. I'm Drew Carney, and our first story here this afternoon focuses on a change in the way policing is funded in downtown Portland. Portland City Council voted to end a contract with the Downtown Clean and Safe program. That's the nonprofit program that downtown businesses have funded for years to cover the cost of extra policing in that part of town. But some people have argued that it's not fair for downtown Portland to get more police resources than other parts of the city because of that private funding. And a recent city audit also found that there wasn't a whole lot of oversight when it came to this program.
Based on the community forum that took place last week, we heard loud and clear from a large portion of Portlanders that they do think that police services should be seen as a citywide service, not catered to specific district of the city. And we also recognize that for those shifts to happen, they must be done so in an appropriate way.
So in the end, commissioners voted 3-2 to end the contract, but it won't end right away. It'll actually continue for another 2 years while the Portland Police Bureau develops a new plan to cover downtown. Meanwhile, the local group known as People for Portland continues its efforts to have homeless camps around the metro area cleared. The group just refiled, I should say, a ballot measure that was already rejected once before. So if it does get to the ballot, People for Portland's measure would make sure that at least 75% of houseless funding goes to creating shelters. KGW spoke with the people behind this proposed ballot measure just earlier this month.
More to the point, it'll fulfill what we said we were going to do 2 years ago when the Metro $2.5 billion homeless services measure passed, which is address the nightly crisis, humanitarian crisis that's unfolding on our streets.
The Oregonian reports that last week, the initial measure was denied by Metro, saying it didn't meet legality requirements. Metro also says that the way funding is being spent right now is actually working. Metro says over the last 6 months, 1,600 shelter beds were created, and it prevented 1,400 families from getting evicted. Here are some other local headlines we're tracking for you today. We start with day 8 of the Nancy Crampton Brophy murder trial. The romance novelist is accused of killing her husband, Daniel Brophy. Daniel was an instructor at the Oregon Culinary Institute. Yesterday, Daniel's son was expected to testify, but that got pushed back to later today. We are streaming this trial on KGW.com and on our KGW YouTube page. It looks like this week's winter weather, or winter-like weather, may have contributed to a man's death in Southwest Washington. That man was driving on SR 503 yesterday morning when a tree fell right on top of his truck, crushing the cab. The driver was identified as 53-year-old Edward Norton from Woodland. And we have another traffic alert for you here this afternoon. I-84 back open now in both directions in eastern Oregon after it was closed earlier this morning. ODOT says it had to shut down the interstate between Baker City and Pendleton because of severe weather. Conditions have improved slightly, so they reopened both lanes or both directions of the highway. But for the latest information, before you head out there on the road, go to tripcheck.com. And that's a look at some of your local headlines. All right, Rod, what a week it has been weather-wise. It seems like today things are settling down a little bit.
Yeah, that last story, you had a reminder if you are traveling up in elevation at all, you could find Old Man Winter waiting for you. Generally up around Mount Hood, the passes, and generally the Coast Range highways are looking pretty quiet and pretty clear at this hour. It's checked about 15 minutes ago. Here's the radar. We still have showers rotating in from the northwest. You can see varied clouds across the state. It's tough to see, but snow showers showing up still on the radar going up into the Blue Mountains. Closer look at the west side. The green is rain, and then you get up in the Coast Range, you get up in the Cascades. Snow levels right now still below 2,000 feet. It's nothing but rain, though. Mount Angel, Canby, there's a rain shower. Haven't seen much so far today through downtown Portland. We have partly cloudy skies, but notice these are cumulus clouds are starting to build upwards, so there will be some decent showers this afternoon. That's our live Uquinta Bay camera, 45 degrees. Downtown Portland, kind of a similar setup. We're at 49. That's the warmest we've been at noon the last several days. Salem's at 47. We're still near freezing out in John Day, still near freezing out in Pendleton where it's 34. So just a reminder, scattered showers. Most of us will have some action today. Could still be some hail, some rumbles of thunder out there. we'll be around 52 degrees. And Drew, we can't get much warmer. So, as the atmosphere tries to get warmer, showers could really explode on us in just the next couple of hours. Back to you.
All right, I know we have more from Rod coming up here shortly, but right now we do want to get to a few COVID headlines this afternoon. And we start with this. A COVID booster for kids between the ages of 5 and 11 could be coming out soon. Pfizer says it will ask the FDA for approval for its booster for kids. According to Pfizer's research, the additional shot led to a 6-fold increase in antibodies. Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids 5 to 11 comes in a smaller dose than the vaccine for people ages 12 and older. Number 2 this afternoon, Washington's Board of Health voted to not require the COVID vaccine for public school students. Some parents said the mandate would force them to pull their kids out of school. The Washington chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics is also weighing in. It did not endorse the mandate, but says vaccinating school-age kids against COVID is safe and effective. And number 3, unemployment in Oregon has returned to pre-pandemic levels. New numbers show the rate was at 3.8% in March, which was down from 4% in February. It's also down from 6% exactly 1 year ago. The last time Oregon unemployment was this low was back in March of 2020 when it was 3.5%. And that's a look at some COVID headlines today. Residents at a North Portland apartment are being forced out right now. Officials say the water in their building isn't safe after an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. Christine Pitawanich talked to one resident there as she began to pack up.
And family pictures. This is one of my best friends named Tina.
Marilyn Hassan is packing up, getting prepared to leave her life here at Rosemont Court in North Portland.
This is my dad. He's a World War II veteran.
Making things harder, the people she's come to see as family and friends who also live here.
It's devastating because we're moving into areas we don't know anyone.
Hassan just found out she and others will get some financial help to move after an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in January of 2021. The building owner, Northwest Housing Alternatives, as well as county health officials, have urged residents to relocate due to ongoing concerns that the bacteria that causes the disease may still be in Rosemont's water. Legionnaire's disease is a severe form of pneumonia or lung infection. So far, more than a dozen people have gotten sick, and one person has died.
No one's been sick since September, and I'm thinking it's over. And then we get this note yesterday.
The financial help consists of up to 2 years of rental assistance and up to $4,000 to pay for moving. It's thanks to a partnership with the Joint Office of Homeless Services and funding from other organizations.
While I do appreciate what they're doing to help us relocate, doesn't change the fact that this has been my home for almost 13 years.
At almost 68 years old, Hassan says the stress is too much. She doesn't know where she'll end up next or how long it'll be.
So I'm packing up my memories.
Until she'll be able to move back in, or if she'll be able to.
Or what happens if they're not done in 24 months? Who's going to pay my rent? Am I going to end up moving into a tent? I mean, I'm just putting it out there like it is. I'm just keeping it real. I don't have a job.
For now, she's trying to stay positive, despite all the uncertainty.
I'm just trusting right now that it's going to work out in my favor, in all of our favors.
Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
Our next story here this afternoon is about a California family who moved here to Oregon just this week, but just hours, that is, after they got to town, their moving truck and their car were both stolen from a hotel in Troutdale. So the family arrived in Oregon late Tuesday night, and they decided to get a hotel, which was about 10 minutes from their new home in Bridal Veil. A few hours, though, after that, someone managed to break into their U-Haul, which was also pulling their car, and they drove away. We spoke to Melissa, who told us everything the family owned was inside that 15-foot U-Haul trailer.
There was obviously furniture, clothing, kitchenwares, it was our whole lives, but what keeps, I just keep remembering certain things, like all of my son's photos from when he was a baby.
So we're going to give you a look at the U-Haul trailer that was stolen. It has an Arizona license plate, AJ28920, and that right there is a look at the car that was stolen, a Miata with that very distinct yellow spoiler on the back. The car has California license plates, 7ZK-C265. If you see the vehicle or the U-Haul trailer, you're asked to call the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. All right, we're going to take our first break here at noon, but when we come back, we're talking about a change in the way Portland's government works. One of the proposed changes could see City Council jump from 4 members up to 12. More on this coming up in just a moment.